Hi, I'm Rick, and I like to make tiny trees. Well, that's been some time away, hasn't it? Yeah, if you know me by now, I tend to have a couple of weeks or even a month break here and there. Life gets busy, doesn't it? Work, everything else, and I work quite a lot, so new job coming soon though. So a better schedule. I won't say where I've been working, but for the past 12 years I've been on kind of like shift work patterns where I just work. I don't really have set days off. I don't really have set shifts. It changes every week, so that'll all change soon. And I'll be working kind of normal hours, so I'll have more of a schedule. And going forward, I plan to upload 2 videos a week, depending on the season is what they are. So in spring it's going to be repotting mostly. Some will be pruning, some educational videos in between. So looking to get that going. Also about 10 different hobbies, so I like to keep myself busy. But yeah, so going forward there will be a bit more of a schedule. It'll also mean I can look after my trees a bit better, and hopefully in time I can go and get my own place for a garden, and I can have even more trees. Because at the minute I'm kind of limited. I've kind of maxed out the space I've got. But enough of that. Getting into this tree, so apart from my head being in the way quite often, I got a bit lazy with this video. I couldn't be bothered to cut it all out. Just have to put up with that at times. This is one of my Chinese elms, so this is my oldest Chinese elm. Seen this one on the channel multiple times. I usually do like this is what it looked like 5 years ago type thing, but I'm not going to do that in this video. And it's just a maintenance prune. So this is actually the end of autumn, before winter kicked in properly, and it's the last little push of growth, as you can see here. Just tighten it up and get those pads back in. One thing I'm quite impressed with in this is the kind of branch layout, the twigging that I'm getting going on. Quite good. There's a couple of branches that still need to grow out. Need to thicken in places, and in this one it was quite a harsh prune back because I had quite a lot of branches in weird places, growing out at weird angles, where I never really addressed them properly in summer. So this tree does have a couple of issues still. First of all, it needs a repot. It's been in this pot now for 3 years, I believe. So it's getting quite... it isn't pushing out the pot yet though, so maybe leave it for one more season. My issue is obviously once you repot a tree and obviously you prune the roots, the first kind of year of growth out of that becomes long and leggy again, and it gets a lot of energy back. Whereas I'm trying to ramify this right now, so could go against that. There is obviously a branch on the left as well, which you'll see in a little while, that still needs to grow out, and messing around with the roots kind of, can stunt the growth a little bit. Also the root base. The root base is probably the biggest issue with this tree. It kind of just looks like a little fork at the bottom. It's just got 2 big roots and then all the roots coming off of that. Now, I've debated air layering it. I've debated ground layering it. Trying to see what else I can do. It's possible that this might go back into a growing container rather than a bonsai pot next, to try and get roots to grow in a place I actually want them, and I can get rid of the old roots basically. I'm not a big fan of the root base on this. It looks quite natural, but we'll have to see when we come to a repot, see what it actually looks like coming off of them. Over time they will thicken, so they will eventually kind of just merge into one root base, I suppose. But it needs a lot of time for that, especially in a bonsai pot. That's going to take a couple of decades, so this is where the idea of putting it back into a growing container might come from. And don't worry, I'm not just going through this tree as quickly as you can see. It is in 2 times speed, because otherwise we'd be here all night watching this. I like to take my time when I prune trees, but I appreciate you guys probably don't want to watch a half an hour video of me yapping on. So you can see it kind of taking shape here. The apex is very dome-like at the minute, which I need to sort out. It's all just about trying to take it back into space and then trying to ramify even more, taking them branches back to the first 2 sets of leaves and keep on going from there. And this is one of, I actually think I've got about 6 Chinese elms now. One of 3 actual Chinese elm trees, I'd call them. The rest are kind of cuttings and growing on from there. Either cuttings from this one or my cork bark. I've got another Chinese elm which is a little bit younger than this one, which I don't really tend to take cuttings off of because the leaf seems to be bigger. So I guess that's just a genetic thing. This one, the leaf size seems pretty good. And then obviously my cork bark, that's I'm going to make cuttings of that because it's all cork bark, right? So you can't really see the root base in this image here. I think you can see it more in maybe one of the next images I've got going on. So that's just showing you all the branching now, which I think is quite nice. And if this tree never loses all its leaves, if it did, I think it would look spectacular. It's probably one of the trees I'm most proud of, let's put it that way. Considering it was £15 from B&Q. Not bad going. And there's the final images. And I hope to see you again soon.